business just a business, and another an inspiration, a movement, and a moneymaker. The secret ingredient to this recipe and the foundation of all other aspects of business and life is why. Why does it exist? What is its greater purpose? In Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, he describes what he calls the golden circle of business. The golden circle is simple in theory and application, but full of rich rewards. The concept of the golden circle can best be explained through observing two fictional businesses. We are going to call Business 1 and Business 2. Jerry is the CEO of Business 1, and Tom is CEO of Business 2. Jerry and Tom are trying to create effective commercials for their product. Jerry and Tom both sell envelopes. Tom's commercial flows as follows. Hi, I'm Tom, CEO of Lick and Stick, and we sell high-quality professional envelopes for all of your business and personal needs. Our envelopes are top quality with pristine cut edges and strong, simple seals. We serve nationwide to businesses and individuals all over the country. Purchase your top-notch envelopes today. Sounds pretty great, right? Let's listen now to Jerry's envelope commercial. We believe words are powerful. People are powerful. And what you have to say is important. Each piece of mail has a purpose and can make an impact. That is why we, Stick With It Envelopes Incorporated, make quality and professional grade envelopes nationwide. Because we believe in the individual. We believe that if together we stick with it, we can change the world. One envelope at a time. Which one do you think was more appealing? The second, right? But do you know why? Answer. The golden circle. So Claire, what is the golden circle? It is an ideology of business represented by a circle. See, Business 1, Tom's Lick and Stick commercial, ordered the topics of importance as follows. What, how, and why. What being the company and product, how being the features or how it works, and then the why the company exists. This method, while the popular one with millions of businesses, is not effective and does not really inspire. Let's compare this to Business 2, or Jerry's Stick With It Envelopes Incorporated. Before even stating the title of the company, Jerry describes why his company exists. Because they believe in the power of the individual, opposite of Business 1, and is titled The Golden Circle. In the Golden Circle, why is placed first, then what, and then how. This is because inspiring people should be the first priority of any business. People want to rally behind something, to be a part of a greater purpose and support the greater good. Business 2 appeals to that reality by clarifying the greater impact they seek to make on the world by actually describing their why, their belief in the power of words in the individual. People don't buy what you say, they buy why you say it. This core belief that why your company exists is crucial benefits all aspects, including the inspiration of your employees. If an employee comes to work every day understanding the greater impact they make on the world, and that their company desires to inspire and create for the greater good, gives an employee drive to do what needs to be done. While understanding the why of your company is crucial, without a proficient understanding of economics, finance, contracts, and business law, the company will quickly be squelched by the weight and responsibility of money and people management. What is economics anyway? Economics is all about how people react to scarcity and the buying and selling of services/goods, which is exactly what a business does. It reacts to scarcity or need by buying and selling goods. What will be produced, how will it be produced, and the desired group it is being produced for are the three top questions business owners should ask before starting their business. Not only are these important for a successful business, but they're also core aspects of economics. If you don't know your economic environment, then your business is headed for failure. Just imagine for a moment me starting a business selling air. At first you say, Claire, that's ridiculous. But what if I told you my business was on a moon colony? Then you might be more interested, and it would be likely that I would have some success, because on the moon, breathable air is scarce. It goes both ways though. What if I said I ran a central heating company? You would say, okay, cool, and probably wouldn't think it was weird at all. But what if I told you it was in the middle of the desert? Then you would be laughing. Those are simple examples of how economics plays into the business world. Practically everything around you affects the economy in some way or another. If you don't know how the change in weather, population, production cost, and demand will affect your company, then not if, but when changes do come, you will not be prepared. Alright, so you have an understanding of economics. That makes sense because it directly affects your products. But what about finance? And we buy stuff, right? That's it. That is an extremely simplified version of finances. Finances includes money management, which covers investing, borrowing, lending, budgeting, saving, and forecasting. The three common failures in finance is undercapitalization, which is not having enough money to start the business, poor cash flow, meaning not enough money coming in, and inadequate expense control, which means excessive borrowing and spending. Knowing how to financially plan also helps prevent debt and helps create a successful and secure future for the business. The same reason why adequate scheduling seems to create more time, in the same way financial planning somehow magically creates more money. It is amazing how much time or money is spent in the cracks. But when all is planned and scheduled, those minutes and dollars are saved. While financial planning helps ensure financial success, understanding contract law is the spine of a successful business. Successful business can easily and quickly fall apart by the absence or insufficiency of legal contracts. When issues arise, it becomes one man's word against another, creating a sketchy and dangerous situation. Improperly written or non-existent contracts put burden on the word of the company or owner and put the success of the business on the line. If a legal problem arises, written contracts become like a buffer, protecting against unnecessary loss. That is why it's crucial that aspiring and current business owners should not only have clear, concise, and thorough contracts in place, but also know the proper steps to create new contracts if necessary. There are so many beneficial rewards to taking the time to understand how contracts work.
Tech Services has a
Relational issues within life and business boil down to communication. A client is upset because they don't want to pay what you ask, and what you don't know is that they weren't adequately communicated that price at the beginning of the project. Or even worse, you get sued because the terms of an agreement or contract was not adequately communicated. These disasters are extremely avoidable when we keep a few simple principles in mind. Communication is built on two things: the sending and receiving of information. This sending can involve verbal, nonverbal, or written cues, and sending includes the hearing, understanding, and comprehending of information. Effective communication is hard, but so necessary. It requires patience to listen to what the other person has to say to create an effective response. The sender should think carefully about what they are trying to send and formulate that message in a way that they know the receiver will effectively receive. In the same way, the receiver, upon receiving a message, should process it with consideration of the intent, reputation, and known desires of the sender. Effective communication, simply put, is the balance of careful listening, thoughtful speaking, and purposeful body language. Also, knowing the appropriate time and place is crucial. The rewards that come from good communication are endless, including, but not limited to, peace and harmony with those around you, things actually getting done, time saved because of limited mistakes, and a generally happier working environment. While strong communication positively affects companies, weak communication tears companies apart. But what are some signs of bad communication? Poor listening, interrupting, useless words, confusing or offensive body language, bad timing, unclarity, and thoughtlessness are all signs of a bad communicator. Not only does bad communication bring a negative atmosphere, but it can also waste time, energy, and resources, which are all key elements in the workplace. Unintentionally poor communication can cause gossip, disloyalty, and dishonesty. The causes of bad communication are not worth it. We must prioritize effective and strong communication in the workplace. Leaders and managers help demonstrate and ensure that good communication happens in the workplace. But what are leaders and managers? And what's the difference between the two? Professor Warren Bennis describes a leader perfectly when he says, quote, "Leadership is a function of knowing yourself, having a vision that is well communicated, building trust among colleagues, and taking effective action to realize your own leadership potential." End quote. Leaders are servants and lead by example, demonstrating the quality they desire to see in those they are leading, because nothing is worse than a hypocritical leader. Leaders should inspire their followers to follow through clear communication of vision, purpose, and mission, with humility, grace, enthusiasm, and constantly growing, learning, and developing their skills is what creates a superb leader, one who is humble enough to see their own flaws and overcome them, keeping a fixed eye on the future, while remembering the past. Some may use the word manager and leader as interchangeable. However, while a manager can be a leader is not necessarily a manager. To fully understand this statement, let's examine what a manager is. A manager is the organizer, making what starts as a vision and mission practically become reality. This responsibility is great and involves breaking down the greater mission and goal into smaller bite-sized pieces and scheduling those pieces' completion in a reasonable and controlled manner. One tool that helps accomplish this is an acronym called SMART. SMART describes the qualifications for the goal. S is for specific, raising the question, who and where will this goal be accomplished? M stands for measurable, which refers to how the team will see their progress. For example, comparing a new pair of jeans to an old to see the amount of wear. You don't notice the impact unless you have something to compare it to. This comparison also helps motivate action. For attainable, the creation of specific guidelines for the goal, such as we want to have a 15% increase in sales or 24 clients by March. This specific attainable number helps to have a clear bar to reach for when completing the goal. R stands for relevant. Why does this goal matter, and how does it contribute to the overall mission and vision of the company or business? Last, but certainly not least, is T, which stands for timely. Now this explanation may seem obvious, but it's honestly one of the most important letters of SMART. Making sure that the goal has a specific timeline and deadline is motivation and inspiration for completion. Together, through creating specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely SMART goals, your company will achieve great things because things will actually get done. Managers can assign goals and tasks more easily when the company goals are created around this acronym. So what exactly is the difference between a manager and a leader? Simplistically, a manager administrates and looks at the practical here and now, mechanically organizing and focusing on bare results, while a leader inspires emotion and action for the future, pushing the status quo and breaking past what's always been done and into the realm of endless possibilities. Both are important, and every business should have managers and leaders that can work together, building on each other's strengths and filling in the gaps of each other's weaknesses. We have discussed today a lot of broad concepts and ideas about businesses as a whole. However, businesses are made up of individual people, each having their own personalities, tendencies, weaknesses, and unique pasts. The human resources department in every business, whether it's a group of people or just one person, has such important roles. Hiring, firing, and resolving conflicts being just a few. The head-heart briefcase is a method for assessing people for hire and also helping with communications and management within the company. This method of assessment, developed by the predictive index, was created out of the desire to understand the whole person. Each part, the head, heart, and the briefcase, are representations of the three main parts of a person. Head being the behavioral tendencies and mental abilities. Heart refers to the beliefs, passions, and interests, and briefcase refers to the practical skills, physical abilities, education, knowledge, and past experience. According to the predictive index, these three are what build the rough sketch of a person. The job of human resources is to analyze these three parts of each employee and synthesize them together to better understand each individual person and how their skills, passions, experience, and abilities can be applied to the company. Learning about these different parts of a person can be difficult through just your typical resume. Those seeking to understand the head-heart briefcase of current and future employees must seek it out through resumes, questions, and discussion face-to-face. The idea of deciding an employee based solely upon their resume and a few general questions is pretty ridiculous and harmful to any company. Resumes can only demonstrate the briefcase and maybe a small amount of the head of a person, while ignoring the heart. Today, we somehow packed an entire semester of information, give or take some, into under 20 minutes. We have covered an enormous amount of information. To the golden circle in business and why starting with understanding the why is so crucial. We also looked at why a basic understanding of economics, finance, and contract law is beneficial and necessary for a successful business. We examined the parts of communication and how it affects cohesion and productivity in the workplace. The comparison of leadership and management showed us how not only are the terms not interchangeable, but also how each is important and crucial. But not least, we covered a method of human assessment called head-heart briefcase and why it is superior to the traditional method of simple resumes. Presentation, however, I want to express how this past semester has impacted my own life. You see, when I signed up for this class, I didn't really care about business. I don't have my own business, and I don't really plan on starting my own business anytime in the future. Whoa. I know it sounds crazy. You may be thinking, Claire, why in the world are you in this class? The answer is, at the beginning of the semester, I had no idea. I was just taking it for the credit so I could graduate. But after reading, studying, and discussing the concepts and ideas presented in the past few months, my mind has been blown. It has been so eye-opening and inspiring to be able to connect these abstract concepts like the idea of starting with why to my mundane daily routine. I haven't even finished the year, but I am fully convinced and persuaded that no matter what you want to do with your life, whether it's becoming a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, styling hair, or making YouTube videos on your living room couch, you should understand and be able to apply these concepts to your life. Understanding the secrets and ideology of the business world has been so incredibly influential to my life. Now, here's a message for my fellow peers. You would be surprised how many companies and people all around you that are starving for this information that is simply been given to us through this course. Keep it, savor it, and share it. Because the information that may seem common or obvious to you could be life-changing for someone else. Thank you.